Welcome back, everyone, to Onyx's Rambling Reviews. Today's review is one that I've been looking forward to, The Devil Wears Prada 2. I was so excited for this movie. Unfortunately, I was not able to get the popcorn bucket. I was at the theater a few days beforehand, and I saw that it was just this little red handbag, and I'm like, that's it? Like, it wasn't even branded or anything on it. I'm like, okay. So I didn't grab it. I should have grabbed it. They're sold out. You can pre-order them and get them in August, which I still might do. I am a little obsessed. So, for our set dressing today, we have my one pair of designer shoes. They're Betsy Johnson. I love her. She's a very fun designer. We also have the first movie. And I was going to put up my book for Project Runway because that makes sense to have on the set, but it doesn't fit anywhere. It is too tall for these shelves. I need shorter books or taller shelves. Or a table. I am looking into getting a table. Also, hopefully, this is the last recording that I do with this mic. If not, I have one other one, which is going to be real short. Probably. We'll see. We'll see about that one. I am hopefully going to be getting a new mic soon, so audio will sound better in the future. Thank God. I have been struggling when even I'm struggling listening to the audio when I'm editing, so I'm really hoping a new mic will help with that a lot. Let's talk about Devil Wears Prada 2, because I was really excited for this movie. I dressed up and everything. I look super cute. Like, honestly, I had seen the promo enough. I was kind of trying to give the look that Emily's giving as she's walking down the hallway with the two girlies behind her with her Dior shirt on. I was trying to give that, and you'll see it in the thumbnail. That's what I wore. I look great. Also, these sleeves are a thing. There is much sleeve here. So I didn't dress up like that for this video. I did dress up a little bit. I could have gone a little more hardcore, but I also wanted to stay true to me, and this is me. I love this dress. It's nice and velvety. Okay, let's get into the movie. I'm so excited. So, the four main cast from the first movie are back, and unlike some sequels that have come out like X amount of years later instead of being like a few months, or not a few months, that would be impressive. No, instead of like a year or two out, where with Freakier Friday, you kind of brought in a new cast, and it wasn't as much about Lindsay and Jamie Lee Curtis. And we've had that with some others, where it's kind of more of a spiritual successor, where it is a sequel, but it doesn't feel like a true sequel. This one feels like a true sequel, which is good. Now, you have them, they're still in their same roles, obviously. That'd be weird to bring them back and have them play different characters. And they are main cast. There's a few other cast members that are brought in to flesh out the cast for this movie. You have... Oh, I forgot to write down most of these people. I am so sorry. I wrote down the four main characters. Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, Stanley Tucci, Emily Blunt. Also, BJ Novak is in this. And he just kind of feels like an extension of Ryan from The Office. We'll get into him. You have Miranda's new husband. I'm assuming that's her husband. He seems sweet. You have Peter, who is Andy's new love interest. Oh, you do have one other cast member who is back from the first movie. And that is the actress who played Lily, the one female friend in that group from the first movie. She's back in this one. I love Lily. She was a good friend. I have opinions on the boyfriend in the first movie. I do not like him. I am mad that they tried to get back together, but I am glad to see that didn't work out for them, because he was not good for her. And considering his opinions on her working at Runway in the first movie, he'd be leaving her anyway in this one because she went back to work at Runway. Why bring him back for like a few seconds of screen time just to ditch her? Ugh. Also, we don't need that other storyline. Not worth it. So no. Now, Lily's a good friend. I love her. And Andy seems to have a new friend group who is much more supportive of her, much more there for her, compared to the group that we see in the first movie. The Lily is, like, she is the one who kind of tries to keep Andy on track throughout everything. And just like, girl, I saw you with that guy, and I know you're with you have a man, so you should not be canoodling with this guy. And I respect her for that. I don't know what happened to the other guy who was in, like, finance or consulting or whatever. He's just not there anymore. They don't really mention any of the other people. The four main cast, Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, Stanley Tucci, Emily Blunt, they all look fabulous. Honestly, the only one that really shows age out of all of them is Stanley Tucci, but he ages great. I love that man. I love that man. Stanley Tucci is amazing. I love him, and I would die to meet him. Oh, he's so fun. Now, there is the controversy around this movie because there's always controversy around modeling. And it comes up with the body positivity and everything, sizing and all that. I heard that there were some issues with how one character was portrayed based on their race. I don't want to get into that because I don't know too much about that controversy. I can talk on the modeling aspect a bit, though. Here's my thing, girlies. I think I mentioned this in my last video, and I'm going to mention it again. Don't change yourself for anybody. The only person who should be telling you to change how your body looks is your doctor. Because they're probably telling you for a medical reason. Not like because they want you to like look different, but like it's for a health reason. That's the only person outside of yourself who can tell you what to do with how your body looks. Okay? Okay. You don't need to be stick thin with no meat on your bones to look good. Body positivity. Let's bring that back. I don't know why we started turning back away from it. We were doing so good for a while, girlies. We were doing great with body positivity. And now it seems like with like Wegovy and all of those like weight loss drugs that aren't technically for weight loss, but like that is a good side effect, so a lot of people are getting on them. So what? Do you need to lose weight? The only reason you should be losing weight is if you want to lose weight for your own personal benefit or your doctor said you should. Modeling is very toxic in terms of body positivity. It is not a healthy thing. You don't need to be a size 0, 00, whatever. Heck, I'm not. You've seen the rules. I'm clearly not a size 0. I used to be. And yes, losing weight can be a good thing. I'm trying to lose weight because I'm trying to get into a healthier state of being. I am not great with cardio, and I need to work on that. And doing more cardio to increase my, cardiovascular structure and everything will result in me losing some weight, but that is not the reason I'm doing it. Just be yourself. Don't let people tell you what to be. Screw the not screw the fashion industry, but also kind of screw the fashion industry because of how they make you perceive yourself. Brands need to sell for all sizes. That should just be a blanket rule. I don't care if you've only ever designed for a size 2 at the biggest size. You should be designing so everybody can buy your brand. You would get so much more money coming in if, like, sure, your stuff's damn expensive, but if, like, you're making your outfits to fit, like, any size, you're gonna have more people maybe coming in to buy your shit. Just saying. Don't just let accessories and, like, shoes and stuff like that be for everybody. You gotta make the clothes available to fit everybody, too. Okay? Glad we had this talk. Moving on. Is there anything else I want to talk about before I get into the recap and review of this? I can't think of anything right now. If I do think of something, I'll bring it up at an appropriate moment. Well, I'll probably remember at an appropriate moment during the recap. Shall we get into it? I think we should. As always, spoiler alert, and let's begin. The first scene we get is Andy brushing her teeth. Weird scene to start on, but sure, why not? The first movie started with a bunch of women getting dressed and getting ready for the day, and it definitely made the first movie seem a lot more like it was gonna be a lot sexier than it was with like some of the lingerie scene. No, we just get Andy brushing her teeth and just getting ready for her day. And she looks great, by the way. Anne Hathaway has aged like a nice fine wine. Oh, girly, what's your secret? Like, actually, what's your secret? How do you age so well? Same with Meryl Streep. That woman doesn't age. I should say. So then we pan over New York a little bit, but it's not like New York wide shots. There's a few in there, but we're seeing more so places setting up for events. One place is setting up like these big fake flowers. They're rolling out a long blue carpet, not a red carpet, it's blue. There's tables being set. We see some girlies on the side of the street with Miranda, like, they're not quite masks. They're like her face on a stick with eye holes. So it's kind of a mask, but not like a mask. If you know, you know. It makes sense. We see some girlies one of the funnier scenes as Andy is walking to her where she's going, there is a table that is showing off some belts, and the two belts that are held up are like the two from the first movie. And I don't think those belts were cerulean. I think they were more of a teal or an aqua, something in that, because cerulean's a little more blue, not as like bright greenish blue. I did appreciate the throwback to the belts in that scene. Great scene. We find out there's 2 events being set up for, because you're not really sure at first if it's 1 or 2 events being set up for. It's 2. It's 2. Andy is going to the journalism awards. I don't remember the company she was working for. It does not matter. As they are there, her table, which is all one company, gets a text. They're all fired. And this is a heavy note on the journalism scene today, with everything going online and with the addition of AI being a thing. Journalists are, well, fewer and fewer between now. That's not okay. Hire real people to write articles. You can pay them. It's gonna be better than whatever. It's gonna be better than whatever that robot can write. It's gonna have more personal touch. I can tell you that much. Do not let AI take over. No, this whole table gets fired by text right before Andy wins this big award. Does she win? She wins the golden keyboard. I don't know if this is a real award. If it is, cool. If it's not, sounds like it should be. Sounds fun. Journalists are important. We should not be trying to replace them with anything. I understand the switch from paper to online, trying to conserve paper and all that. When I buy books, as you can see, I'm a physical media collector. I do that with books, movies, CDs. I like my physical media. I'm not a big fan of streaming if I can have a physical version of it. So I'd rather have an actual newspaper than having to read on my phone. Because then I don't have to go through all these ads that are going to pop up on the website either. So that night, she's over at Lily's, and she's sad. But also that night, and this is the other event that we saw being set for with that blue carpet, it's Fashion Week, and it's spring florals. Which is also funny because they mentioned that first movie, just like, it's spring, what do we do, florals? Like, it's so obvious that you do, it's like, so cliche to do florals in spring. Which, yeah, it kind of is. I totally get that. Like, really? It's spring. Florals are just kind of a given. You're gonna see florals everywhere. Miranda shows up to the event. Somebody drops an article. I don't remember which website. Somebody drops an article about brands that Runway has worked with. Something about sweatshops and like child labor and things like that. And it is not a good look for her. She gets it. Stanley Tucci, Nigel, he sees what's happening. He sees the article. He quickly gets her assistant to run interference before she can take an interview question. Good, because Miranda doesn't know that article just dropped until she gets to the top of the stairs, and Nigel's there to let her know. Nigel is fabulous. That man should run everything. He kind of dies. Also, the dress that Miranda's wearing is that dress that you see in the on the posters, that red dress. Oh, she looks great in it. I love it. I love it. Also, you have a whole bunch of actual celebrities and famous people there. There's one scene that has Zendaya's choreographer. There's some other famous people. I should recognize them more than I do. I used to be really good at recognizing designers and all that. I used to be really into Project Runway, America's Next Top Model, just fashion in general. I still am, just I'm more into different fashion these days. Irv, who we meet in the first movie briefly, is in charge of, what is it? It's Elias something. I have a note in here. Let's see if I can find it. Elias Clark. That's what the corporation's called. Elias Clark is the company that owns Runway and all that. And that's the company Irv owns and is in charge. So he's seen the article, and he was already thinking about promoting Miranda to head of Elias Clark and all that. Now he's a little hesitant because of this article coming out. We see him in I'm gonna call it a town car, because it's not an Uber, with his son, who is played by BJ Novak, who did not get the fashion gene from his father or anybody in that family, apparently. He is not the one to run this, to take over Runway. They're like, we need to bring somebody in to help fix this mess that with the sweatshop article out there. And somebody sent him a clip of Andy going off at the journalism awards and saying how journalists are important and we need them. So guess who gets a job offer from Runway? Now that she has no job, I mean, might as well take the job. Gotta make money somehow. She gets this job offer, Andy does, and she starts looking up Miranda and Runway, and she finds the article, and she starts seeing a bunch of people like doing AI edits and just normal edits and just trashing on Miranda online. And I do like the fact that they bring in the online stuff a little bit because it makes sense for this movie and like the state that it's in. I think they did a good job with it. And she is considering going back to work there because, again, she needs the money. One of her friends, who was also like somebody who got fired with her from that company, I don't remember what it was, says, no, she's a publisher. She works for somebody else. But she's just like, you could write a book on Miranda and get all the dirty details, and you could make bank. And Andy kind of considers it. And it's kind of like a thought throughout the movie that she may or may not do this. But she does choose to go back to Runway. And she gets there, and she's so happy to see Miranda and Nigel. And Nigel calls her six like he did in the first movie. Which, yes, it's rude because he's implying that six is just a fat size, and it's not. But he only calls her the six once. But it's a nice little throwback moment. Miranda doesn't seem to remember her at all. Who are you? Irv did not tell Miranda and Nigel that he was bringing in Andy to be the new features editor at Runway. I think. Oh no. Let's try that again. And I think that Miranda had actually hired somebody else to be the new features editor. So her named Ashley. We never meet Ashley. She's just mentioned. Ashley is fired that same day. Poor Ashley. Now that Andy's there, working for them, against Miranda's wishes to some extent, she is given an office. It is not the same office Ashley had. It is kind of what looks like it's not quite a junk closet, but it definitely feels like a filing cabinet kind of vibe area. It's a small closet. There's no windows. It's small. It's for somebody who's the features editor at this huge magazine. She should definitely have a bigger office. I have a hair somewhere attached to my eyelash. Oh my god. Oh, I found it. I found it. Did I find it? Okay, I got it. Sorry. Everything is just kind of doing its own thing today, including my hair. Always fun. No. So now that Andy's there, they need to go talk to the advertisers who are in Runway. They have to go make amends. Because if the advertisers pull out of Runway, they're going to lose a lot of revenue and it could shut down Runway. So the first place they go to is Dior. And if you've been wondering, hey, why isn't Emily at Runway? She is not at Runway. She's now working at Dior. And she looks fabulous and, okay. Emily, I know that Emily Blunt has had some work done, but like she looks almost exactly the same as she did in the first movie. Maybe a smidge older, but barely. I love her. She's great. She has some moments in this movie that do make me want to slap her, but we'll get to them. I still love her, and I will stand up for her, even after I slap her in the face. But the character, not the actual actress. Also, Miranda doesn't seem to remember Emily either, and this is never touched on why she doesn't remember them. And that bothers me, because, like, even in, like, the promos for this movie, all of the promotional scenes and everything, you see that she doesn't remember, and we never learn why. And I don't like that. I wish we'd learned why. Do wish we'd learned why. Because she doesn't seem to forget much else. Like, she seems still there and cognizant all there, except for just not remembering them. And it's really weird. And what's even stranger, later on, we find out she does remember why Emily doesn't work at Runway. It's like, she does technically remember Emily. I don't know what's going on there. I feel like they might have had a storyline that they scrapped and that they didn't go through with there because of the fact that she does seem to remember Emily later. They go in to go negotiate about the advertising and everything. Andy starts, she's like, I am the new features editor at Runway. And Emily's just like, no, you're not. And then you get that line from the trailers. He's just like, you're different now, more confident. Kept those eyebrows, though. I love her. She is just so blunt, which, yeah, that makes sense for the actress, I guess. No, it hits, and it reminds me of that scene in the first movie where she looks at Andy and she kind of goes, and I love that snap moment and that point. Emily Blunt is an amazing actress, and I adore her. I adore her. She is terrific in this role, but Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway are definitely standouts. Oh, but is Stanley Tucci up there too? You know what? They're all standouts, I guess. I love them all. I really do. Without advertisers, there's no runway. So they need to negotiate, and they end up doing this. Miranda agrees to Emily's terms, which is strange because before, the Miranda that Andy remembers would not have put up with these demands. She would have beat these people down and like force them to bend to her will. But she also understands that without the advertisers, runway doesn't exist. So she kind of has to give in a little bit here. It still doesn't feel quite right. And when Andy brings this up to Miranda as they're leaving, Miranda kind of has this moment with her. And then she makes Andy take the train back. Her and Nigel get in the company car and go back to runway. Emily gets in a car going somewhere. I don't know where she's going. Andy gets on the train to go back to work. So it's like the next day at runway. I think it's the next day. It's kind of like a few days. People aren't happy that Andy's there. They know that Irv brought her in and that she wasn't picked by Miranda. The whole thing. I kind of understand, especially since I had Ashley who was going to be working there. Nigel does bring her clothes again. I love Nigel. Nigel is just a great friend to Andy. I love him so much. I love him so much. Because he also helped her with clothes in the first movie. And she definitely has better styling in this movie than she did in the first one before, like the makeover scene and everything. She's not dressing like always in Prada or Gucci or Louis Vuitton, Marc Jacobs, etc. But she is looking fine. She is looking fine. We find this is around the time that we find out Runway is now all online. There is still an actual book, but it's not the same as it was back when Andy worked there. Also, there's a point when she's being taken to her new office that she even mentions that she worked there 20 years ago, which is true. It was 2006 when the first movie came out. I like that little nod. Hell yeah. We also found out that this is also when we find out Miranda's about to get promoted. Andy does get an assistant, and this is, I think, where some of that controversy, because the assistant is Asian. She is cute. She's fun. She is very nervous. She seems like a very nervous personality. I like her though. I think she does a good job as Andy's assistant. We learn that Miranda is now hanging up her own coat because there was HR complaints about her throwing her coat and bag at her assistants. I don't know why Andy and Emily didn't go to HR. They were probably afraid. I wonder who had the backbone to go to HR to complain about Miranda doing this. That's the real question. So Andy keeps walking by Miranda's office at one point. Miranda just straight up ignores her. And she's talking to, I think his name's Charlie, Miranda's second assistant, who stay at your desk no matter what. You're chained to that desk. Okay? And they start talking about Sasha and Benji Barnes, some legends back in the day. And how Andy would kill to get an interview with Sasha Barnes. Like, even before working at Runway, she would have killed to get that interview. Because nobody has spoken to her in I don't know how long. But like that is like the golden goose of interviews to get Sasha Barnes. She and Benji are no longer together. They are divorced. We see in a meeting that Miranda is having with the team, her assistant is kind of correcting Miranda's language to be more PC. And it definitely feels not like Miranda at all. Note to self, don't eat Taco Bell before recording. It doesn't feel right for Miranda to try to be PC because that's not who she is. But it also makes sense because like that's the way that America and like society has gone. It's just like, yeah, we're trying to be more PC. We're trying to be better people. And yet at the same time, somehow we are gone completely the wrong way and we are now worse for it. There's no winning, is there? Miranda does not want Andy there. She thinks that this is an overstep from Irv. She thinks that this is going to interfere with her promotion. She doesn't want her there because she didn't pick her. This was not Miranda's hire. I just have a note here that says Nigel rocks. It's very true. He does. I don't remember why he rocks, but he rocks. Love that man. Man's a sneaky little bastard. I love him. So we get a montage of Andy writing a bunch of articles that have not made that much traction, I guess. But it's the kind of thing that would work probably really well in, a print magazine, not so much online, where you need something that draws in a reader. Because if the title or whatever doesn't catch somebody's eye as they're scrolling and doom scrolling on their phone, they're not going to pause to look at it and be like, oh, I might actually read that. They're just going to be like, and keep scrolling quickly away from it. I'm moving around a lot today. I'm sorry if this is really distracting. I don't know how many of you actually watch these or just put these on as background noise. Let me know that in the comments below. I'd love to know. So as she's writing all these articles, one of them is for the new Dior. What is the right word? I'm never going to remember what that word is. A new store, and he's going there to interview Emily about it. Emily, okay, we never saw, I don't know if we really ever saw her in pants in the first movie. I think she was almost always in skirts. She might have been in pants one time. She's in this really cute, overall look, because, the store is being renovated, so, she looks like she's, I don't think she's actually, she might be just on the painting. She looks so cute, though. I love her. She always looks fierce. Ugh. We meet her partner, Benji, but before we meet him, we get the scene of Andy coming in, and she just kind of wants to catch up a little bit with Emily. And I think Emily actually likes Andy. She truly, wants to be friends. I just think she doesn't know how. I think she doesn't know how to be not who she is, to an extent. It's just so ingrained in her head to be the way she is. But she is working on it, and I love that for her. We found out Emily has 2 kids with an ex-husband. They're very cute. Also, she had kids. I would not have expected Emily to be the one to have kids. Andy apparently froze her eggs. I respect that too. Emily won't tell Andy why she left Runway, though. She also mentions that retail is the only fashion niche that's actually making money these days. The magazines and all that, they're not profitable as much as retail is. If you can sell your clothes, you're going to make money. But not many people are buying magazines, so it makes sense. But then we also meet Benji, Emily's new beau. I don't think they're engaged. I think they're just boyfriend. I think they're just together, in a relationship. I don't think they're engaged or anything. This is Benji Barnes. And I hate how long it took me for me to realize that this Benji is the ex-husband of Sasha Barnes. To be fair, I at least figured this out. My friend who I saw this with, I had to tell her, and she's like, I didn't pick up on that at all. My husband did, which I was impressed by, because he doesn't usually pick up on things like that. I don't know why it took me so long. I think I was focused on everything else, mostly the fashion. It's gorgeous in this movie. I love it. Besides all that, none of Andy's articles have really done well. Nobody, they're not getting a lot of traction. And so she lies to Miranda and says she has, is it Miranda? She lies to somebody. It's probably Miranda. Or is it Emily? No, I don't think it's Emily. She lies to somebody and says she has the interview with Sasha Barnes, or she has a lead to get the interview. Which, this is similar to the point in the first movie where she has to get the unpublished manuscript of one of the Harry Potter books for Miranda's twins. Hey, guess what? She gets the book. She gets the interview. It takes a while. Lily actually knows somebody who might be able to get in contact with Sasha because of a piece of art. Because she recognizes a piece of art and she thinks she knows who sold it to Sasha. And that she can probably contact that person to get the number for Andy to get in contact with him to get Sasha's number. In the end, she does get the interview with Sasha. She does. Also, during this, she's apartment hunting because she has more money, because Runway is paying a lot more than her last job is for however long she's there, depending on things. But it is paying more, which is good. Make money, girlie. Do your thing. And these are kind of apartments. She's kind of upset that, because it's an old historic building. And she's like, I wish it still had, the old historic charm on the inside, because now it's just modern apartments in there. And I get that. but the building was going to be torn down otherwise, and just like use the space for people to actually have somewhere to live, build something that people don't need as much. You know, I'd go with the apartments, I guess. She's looking at the apartment. She goes into the bedroom. There's a guy sitting in there. There's also like nobody else in the bedroom. There's a lot of people in like the living room, kitchen area of this apartment, which is a gorgeous apartment, by the way. And there's a lot of people in there. There's only one dude in the bedroom, which is weird that nobody else has gone to the bedroom to look. Because just like, if you're gonna be looking at these apartments, you're gonna look at every room. So why is nobody else in there? Sidetracked. But we're back. We're trying to get back on track. The guy in there, his name is here. He is Australian. I love me an Australian accent. I love me an accent. Okay? That's because I'm an American and we hate our own accents. I don't. Okay, yes. I'm going to say this and it's going to be the same thing that everybody always says. I don't think I sound like I have an accent, but I probably do to some people. The only accent that I know I can kind of pull off really well and convince people of is my Southern accent. I have convinced somebody who is from the South that I am Southern. I am not. I don't have any family. The closest family I have is in Virginia, and they moved there. They're not from that area. My family is not Southern. But that is not my Southern. My Southern can come out, though. It takes a while. I gotta find it, and then I can just slip it back to the Australian man, which is an accent that I really wish I could do, but I can't. He's cute. His name is Peter. He is the one who is selling all the apartments. He is the, I guess, is he the owner? Is he a contractor? He's the one that made the apartments be a thing. Him and Andy kind of have a moment. And then Lily kind of walks in right as Andy gets a notification. And I think this is when she's like, I got the interview. And Lillian walks up to Peter and she's like, so, you guys having a moment there? All right, now tell me everything about yourself. I'm going to be stalking you on socials there. She is doing her best friend duty of looking up this guy for her girl. I love her for that. I love her for that. She is a good friend. I do say she interrogates him. She kind of does, but I love her for that. I wish I could remember which outfit this was for, but I have a note in here that says, oh no, that outfit thing is awful. And I wish I remembered which outfit this was. So hard. But whatever it was awful, apparently. What are we doing here? I don't remember what's happening in the scene for me to say that outfit is awful. But it must have been bad for me to make a note. Because otherwise, I'd be like, okay, that's a bad outfit, but I don't need to make a note of it. I can just maybe remember. I made a note of it, but it must have been so bad that I repressed it. Oh, that's horrifying. But she gets the interview with Sasha Barnes. The elusive, exclusive interview. Sasha's house, the house that they go to do the interview with Sasha, it is gorgeous. Oh, I would kill for that house. And I do actually mean that. I want a house big enough that I can have a dedicated library, like one room that is just books. A room, I'd love to have an actual recording space. I am literally just in my downstairs living room with my movie shelves as my background, which it works really well. I do have to shelve movies soon. I have a lot of movies just sitting on the floor in piles that need to go on the shelf, and I don't think I have enough shelf space. So if anybody out there knows about good shelves for media, I would love your input on where to get them, because these shelves are no longer around because tariffs, and the US president has screwed up my life for that. I didn't vote for him any of the times. I knew he was wrong the first time he mentioned it. Alright, no, but if anybody knows a good similar kind of shelf or something, that would be great. Back to the house. It's huge, it's gorgeous, I want it. Miranda does the interview. I think this is actually filmed, so like it's gonna be like it's a video interview, so it's gonna be online, obviously. Unlike before, where it would have just been like talking points, there wouldn't have been a camera crew or anything. And Miranda is the one asking the questions, and everything, but Andy is the one writing it out as it's happening. And so you have those two things. And Sasha, she brings up a point. She's like, you haven't asked me about my husband. She's like, I don't want to be defined by my past marriage or my next one. So she gives them the scoop. She's engaged, girly. She got a new boy. She's doing her own thing. She's living a quiet life. She's happy. She's doing great. I love her. Also, she's played by Lucy Liu from Kill Bill. These women don't age. I want to know their secrets. I need to know their secrets. Not really, I don't. I kind of age, but not really. We're not going to get into that. Miranda is actually very happy with how the interview and how the article turns out. Andy does get the new apartment. Her old apartment actually wasn't that bad. It's better than the one in the first movie. Also, what I appreciated about the first movie, that apartment felt like people who were on a lower budget. It didn't feel like the Friends apartment where you're just like, how are you affording that? It is kind of explained in the show at one point, but still, it felt like a realistic New York apartment to some extent. It was small, it felt cramped, and I liked that about it. In this next one, you could tell she moved up in the role, but also it's still not as good according to what some of the notes Lily makes when they're looking at the new apartment. This new one, it's a brand new apartment. And she gets it, and she moves in, and it's good for her. She is doing her thing, and I love Andy. I love everybody. Also, she goes on a date with Peter, and they make a joke. It's just like, is this a date? Does talking about it make it less of it? Does talking about it being a date make it less of a date? And they're like, no, I think talking about it makes it more of a date. It's just fun. We find out Andy doesn't want to stay at Runway. That's not her long-term goal. And I understand why. She wants to do more journalism things instead of just fashion work. I think Runway is where she should stay. I think it's good for her. Now, I don't think it was good for her in the first movie. I do think she needed to step away and go do her own thing. But I think now she needs to stay at Runway, personally. Also, she can help Runway a lot. She is considering writing that book about Miranda, but she doesn't want to take it in, like, the trashy, like, what is that? Trashy, like, Inquirer kind of, like, paparazzi kind of vibe, where you're just getting all the bad rumors and everything. No. She actually wants to do a good job and, like, be true to it. She gets invited to Miranda's house up in the Hamptons. She has nothing to wear. So Nigel lends her some clothes. And we're not shown the dress. We're not shown the dress in this scene. Mm-mm. But she looks at this dress and she's like, she gives Nigel, he's like, please. She gives him the puppy. And he's just like, fine, you can borrow it, but you can't get any stains, nothing on it. Can't ruin it. No rips and tears and stains, nothing. I expected a more interesting or more... I didn't like the dress. It's muted colors and it's like blocks. It's a cute dress. It's fine. It's not what I expected for how they kind of hyped it up. And she does spill something on it, but I think she gets, the stain never comes up, so I guess she got the stain out. Nigel never knew. I don't know. Miranda's very happy. This is when Andy meets Miranda's new husband. She gets to the Hamptons. She looks great. I don't like the dress. There's a lot of influential people there. It's the Hamptons. Like, this is where, like, the rich of the rich go. At least from what I kind of know. I've watched a little bit of Real Housewives, so I kind of know, but not really. I'm not, like, even if I had that kind of money, that's not the kind of person I'd be. I don't know. I'd have a lot more books and movies. That's what I'd spend my money on. So we see her mingling, then they're eating lunch, I guess. My head itches. They're eating lunch, and she drops, like, a tomato or something on the dress. And she paps inside. I say paps. I say that with my cat. Like, pap. Because it's not quite a run or a jog, but it's a little faster than a walk. Like, it's a pap. So she paps inside and she's washing up. And Miranda comes in. I think Miranda's a little drunk, but she's so happy. Irv has confirmed that she's going to get the promotion. And I'm so proud of Miranda. She has spent her life working for Runway. She deserves to work even. Like, she wants that promotion. Honestly, I don't know who else could take it. She knows what to do taking over that job, so she deserves it, in my opinion. Andy's moving, and now it's Irv's 75th birthday. It's a whole event. Andy's going with Peter, and the blue dress that she wears is gorgeous. I have a pair of shoes that are about that shade of blue. I could have put them up there, but I wanted to not wear. I did wear these to the movie. I've only worn them twice in my life. I need an event to wear these to. These are not something that I'm just gonna wear. They're Betsy Johnson shoes. They deserve status. No, but that dress, oh, it's so beautiful. It's a great shade of, like, royal blue on her. It's not quite it's royal blue. I don't think it's quite royal blue. It's a little darker. No, it's a little brighter than royal blue. It's a gorgeous shade of blue. Actually, honestly, I'd say it's about Blu-ray case blue. Honestly. Yeah. No, it's a gorgeous. Everybody's there. This is where we see a lot of the cameos from famous people like Zendaya's choreographer, and I know he's choreographed for a bunch of other people. And you see a bunch of there's probably I think there's some models who are there who have cameos. I think one of them might be Naomi Campbell. I will check that. There is definitely a model who is there. At least one. There's obviously more than one. So they're mingling, they're talking to people. This is when Andy gets introduced to Benji. I like Benji, I think. I don't think he has any ill intentions ever. He loves Emily, I think. I'm not sure if Emily loves him, but he loves Emily. He just seems like a fun guy, but he also seems like he has a very outgoing personality, which you need the right kind of personality to counter that. Emily works from you got your you need your black cat to your golden retriever. There's the analogy I'm going for. It's like Andy and April from Parks and Rec. That's the vibe. Irv goes down at the party. Right as he's about to make the announcement that Miranda's going to be taking over for Elias Clark. The whole rest of the movie centers on this scene happening. My problem with this scene happening is we're never given any indication that Irv has had any heart problems or anything. My husband's problem with this scene is everything relies on this happening exactly when it does. Which, fair, yeah, no. If that didn't happen exactly when it did, the rest of the movie would have played out very differently. And I like the movie, I do. But also, I don't like it when things rely on one thing happening for the rest of everything to happen. You gotta have some other things that could also be the cause to make that happen. Irv's dead. We got the funeral. I don't trust Irv's son a lick. He's not even in like a tux or a suit at the funeral, which is very disrespectful, first of all, for your father. I do not like him. He very much reminds me of Ryan from The Office, and that becomes more clear in the next few scenes. So once again, we're at a meeting with the runway team, and they're talking about and since Irv's gone, nobody knows what's going to happen with runway. Who's going to take over? What's going to happen? What's Jay going to do with it? Jay is Irv's son. I don't know if I made that clear, but that is his name, Jay. Jay comes and he's going to meet with Miranda, and she's like, "Okay, I'll get us a reservation somewhere." And he's just like, "Oh, we can just go down to the cafeteria." Miranda doesn't even know that there's a cafeteria in that building. Nonetheless, where it is or what to do when she's there. Which, that's not her style. But also, like, it is Jay's style to do cafeteria vibe. I don't like him. I don't like him. He's never mean or anything. He's just not the right fit for the company. He's not. So she goes down she finds the cafeteria. It goes silent when she walks in because they're all just like, she's here. Why is she in the cafeteria? They must all think something has gone horribly wrong for her to be in the cafeteria. Which, to be fair, something has gone horribly wrong with Irv being dead. And Andy and Nigel and Amani. I think Amani is also there. They all want to listen in on the conversation that Miranda and Jay are having. Because Jay has brought in a lot of outside business consultants or marketing people that don't need to be brought in. If you have the right person in charge, you don't need these other people. Andy's assistant is great in this scene. She's like, "I got this." She goes to get some froyo and pretends to drop her spoon. Well, she does drop her spoon. As she drops her spoon, it's like right behind Miranda's chair. She puts her phone down and having it record so she can record the whole conversation being had. Brilliant move. Brilliant play. I love this. It's so smart. And she does get the recording. And they don't find out. Like, the people at the table, they don't know. Because she's just Andy's assistant. She's not important. They're not going to think she's up to anything. Smart girl. Smart girl. They're cutting everything. Everyone who has been there more than, I think it was 5 years is getting cut, is getting fired. Because they're too expensive. Features is essentially gone. It doesn't feel right. I don't like it. My next note in here says, journalism matters. And it does. I'm a writer. I'm not a journalist. I do not know how to write, like, journalistic articles. I respect everybody out there who does. And they put their heart, well, not everybody puts their heart and soul into it, but I probably do. Especially, like, the ones who are, like, overseas and doing articles on, like, foreign affairs and everything. And the ones in, like, some sketchy places, like Middle East, in Ukraine. I hope they're doing okay. And I respect what they're doing. And gotta keep them around. Because you can't have an AI write those kind of articles. They're not going to get the same vibe. You can't get rid of them. Journalism matters, people. Journalism matters more than luxury apartments. Oh, right. So it is a quote that I wrote. It's journalism matters more than luxury apartments. Andy's kind of having a fight with Peter about what Jay is doing to the company. She uses the apartment just like, we don't need this. We need people out there telling the stories. That's more important than this apartment. And she's not wrong. Not the time to say that to the guy who is in your corner at the moment. So I guess they kind of break up. I don't know if they were fully together. They'd just been on some dates. So I don't know if they'd established a relationship yet. He kind of just leaves because he's just like, I know you're in a tough spot right now. Let's just take some time, have some space. Andy, freaking out, goes to Miranda's townhouse. Same townhouse that we saw in the first movie without the twins. They're probably in college or somewhere else. They get mentioned. I just don't know where they are. But she shows up to the apartment. No, the townhouse. Miranda's new husband lets her in. And she goes to talk to Miranda and asks her what her plan is, what she's going to do. Miranda just tells her to leave. Get out. I think Miranda has a plan. I'm not sure. With all the cuts that Jay has made, they've been playing this thing where Runway partner, like with Milan, and how that relationship has been a thing. This is kind of a big event that they're going to be doing over in Milan, in Italy. Due to all of the cuts that Jay has made to their budget, they don't have a music act anymore. They were going to have John Legend, but he is now too expensive because he wants them to fly over his piano. Which I guess, yeah, that makes sense that once you're that big, you use your own piano. Also, they're not allowed to have town cars. It's only Uber and everything. No more first class on flights. Which is really funny seeing Miranda in coach. She does not belong there. And I'm surprised that she flew coach and didn't buy herself a first class ticket. She has the money to afford a first class ticket on her own. Like, she doesn't need to take the company ticket. She could have bought her own flight there. I don't know why she didn't. But in terms of music, they're just like, always calling that favor. Miranda's just like, no. Nigel kind of gives her a look and she's like, fine. We don't know who this favor is, who this she is. But we know that Miranda does not want to deal with them. It's very entertaining in a bit. I gotta wonder, why is Miranda putting up with all the stuff that Jay is doing? Why is she flying coach, taking the Uber, and all that? It doesn't feel like Miranda. And I think part of it is Miranda's just, I feel like she's kind of lost herself a little bit with, like, especially with Irv gone. She's like, I gotta kiss ass to the new guy, make sure I still get that promotion. I guess who else is in Italy? Emily. Andy sees her and Benji in they're advertising, I think, Tiffany on the windows for it. But they could just have Tiffany, and it's probably just a Tiffany store. But Benji's buying Emily this gorgeous necklace. It's huge. Oh, I love it. It's gorgeous. It has a gorgeous blue stone. He has so much money. I mean, if we saw what Sasha had, like that house, clearly he is also, though, because they were together. I don't know how much he has, but he is happy to just throw money at things to solve an issue. But because of everything going on with Jay and how Miranda doesn't seem to be doing anything to fix the problem, Andy decides to take measures into her own hands. She goes to visit Emily because she's like, okay, you know what, girlie? I know your man is loaded. He can buy Runway from Jay. And we can just, like, go back to how it was. And so Andy's sneaking out, and Nigel sees her sneaking out. And he's just like, where are you going? She's like, hey, thanks. She goes, Emily, and Benji all kind of meet. And Jay shows up, and they talk about it. And the deal seems like it's going to go through. Seems like it's good. She comes back. Nigel is definitely so sus of what's going on. He's just like, I know you ain't here. You had gone somewhere else. I know you're up to something. Mm-hmm. He's fabulous. That man is amazing. Miranda definitely sees her sneaking away with Emily in the morning, by the way. She doesn't know what's going on, but she knows something's up. When she gets back, Miranda definitely knows something happened. Instead, Andy is doing something because they're looking at a place where they're going to be having this huge dinner where there is a fresco of the Last Supper. They're having it at church. We're not going to get into all of that. That's a whole other story, a whole other tangent that I don't have time or the brain power to get into right now. Miranda definitely makes some notes to Andy there. It's just like, I know what's going on. I know you're up to something. I know. Emily is having lunch with Donatella Versace. I said that very wrong. Donatella Versace. Versace. That's a very American way to say it. I don't know how to say it in Italian. Versace? Something like that. Good for her. The fact that she's having Emily is doing great in life. I love that for her. Andy's just like, Miranda knows. We need to go tell her. And like, this is when I realized that Benji was Sasha's ex. I should have realized that sooner. But whatever. So they go talk to Miranda to tell her what's going on. Let her know. Yeah, it turns out Emily didn't convince Benji to buy Runway for Miranda's sake. She convinced him to buy it for her. She's going to be the one who takes over Runway. Miranda's still out at that point. And this is the one thing that I don't like that Emily does in this movie. This is also kind of when we learn why Emily isn't with Runway anymore. Miranda didn't think she was right for the job. She pushed her to go to Dior. And she did. She does go. She is working at Dior. She seems great there. Good for her. As I noted earlier, there's kind of that thing in the background with the book. One of Andy's friends sent the proposal for the book to her publisher, and she was thinking Andy would get maybe about $100K for it. No, she is offered $350,000 to write that book. That's a lot of money. And this is the not trashy. This is just like the book that Andy wanted to write. But now Andy's just like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't think I can. I can't do that to Miranda, especially now. I don't remember who says this. It's the person who her friend who got like the book deal for her. And she's like, Stockholm called. They want their syndrome back. That is such a great line. I'm going to use that at some point in my life. It's so good. It's so good. So we're at the dinner now in the church. Again, not getting into why it's at the church. And Miranda gets up and she's gonna go talk to Ben. She's like, so? And he's kind of making sure all the paperwork's going through and everything. So the deal isn't finalized. Nothing is set in stone yet. And at first I thought that she was kind of subtly threatening him. No. He's just like, this is the way things are moving. Probably gonna start moving people out and probably have an AI take. No, do not let AI take your job. If you can fight against having AI take your job, do it. Don't. Emily does see how this affects Miranda. I don't think she still wants to own Runway and everything, so she's not gonna stop it. But I think she does feel a little bad about it. I hope she does. But the next morning, Miranda wakes up Andy. And then we see them going to like some fashion shows. They're getting ready for their big event. And we find out Andy has this whole thing that she has to do. She's on the phone all day trying to get things to go through. We don't know what she's doing. This is another thing that my husband didn't like, which is like, I have a plan. And then like, you know they have a plan, but you don't know what the plan is until it's like done and like you're seeing the results of it. It's like, I kind of like that, but they do it a lot in this movie. They do it a lot. But hey, guess who the musical act is for this thing? It's Lady Gaga. Like, it's actually Lady Gaga. And I just love the fact that Miranda probably doesn't have beef with a lot of people out there because she can like talk her way out of anything. Except whatever happened with her and Lady Gaga. There is some beef there, and we don't know what it is, and I love that. I want to know what happened between them because it's hilarious that somehow Lady Gaga and Miranda Priestley have beef. I want to know what the beef is so much, but we never find out. Apparently, the plan worked. We know that much. We don't know what the plan is. And it happens right as Miranda's supposed to go on and give the keynote speech. And Andy's just like, there's someone else who can give it. And she looks over at Nigel, who has been passed up like time and time again for a promotion, and just looks over and it's just He deserves more. That man has given his life to Runway. He deserves the recognition. He deserves it. And she does go and talk to him, and she lets him do the keynote speech because she's got to go be somewhere else. She got to go be somewhere else. So Nigel gets to give a speech. Lady Gaga, she looked great. And get the fashion show going on. I remember what that dress was. That awful, awful thing. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just a person in a puff. It is horrible. It is awful. I hated it. The song that Lady Gaga sings as the models walk around her is Shape of a Woman. Miranda and Andy are gone. They're going to an airport. They're on a plane. Nigel gives the speech. I love that for him. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud that he got his moment. And he's gonna get more now because Miranda's just like, he's never said anything. He's never said anything because he doesn't want to be that person. He gets his moment though, and it's so good. So now we see it's the next day in Italy, at least. Jay, Emily, and Benji are having food. I don't know what meal it is. At Benji's estate in Milan. They're talking. Jay gets a call. He hangs up the first one. The call comes in again. He answers it. He's been trying to find a way to, offload the Elias Clark situation, like Runway and everything, and like really focus on things that are more profitable. He just got a really good offer for somebody to buy out Elias Clark. So Emily's not going to get Runway, and Benji he's not buying Runway for Emily anymore. Somebody else would. Guess who buys it? It's Sasha. It's Sasha. Of course it's her. My next note is happily screwing over your ex. I would do that if I had the chance. I have some exes I would happily screw over. Don't we all, though? Don't we all have at least one ex we would happily screw over if we got the chance? Sasha just like, yeah, I'll just kind of be here. You run. And unlike with Benji, who is gonna like completely revamp everything, Sasha's like, yeah, just leave it alone. I'll just fund you. I don't need to actually be a part of it. So now Miranda and Andy are in a car. They're leaving Sasha's house. Mansion. Miranda tells her to write the book. Because of course Miranda knows that Andy was going to write the book and she got the offer and everything. It's Miranda. She knows everything. Except for some reason she didn't remember who it is. Still don't like that. I wish that had been explained, especially since she mentions the whole scene with why Emily left and not important. No, it's not important. She tells Andy to write the book. So now Andy's back at home. She's visiting Lily at her apartment. And she gives her 3 different sizes of Pinocchio. And a new Valentino bag, which is, a callback to the first movie. I don't remember whose bag it was that she gave Lily in that scene where she was giving out presents. But she gives her another handbag. The girl knows what her friend loves. And she loves handbags. Peter learned Italian for Andy, which is adorable. Because, he knew that he wanted to try to, fix their relationship when she got back. And I love that. And they do get, they still have a lot to talk about. But, they're definitely, she goes to talk to him that night and she apologizes. And it's just, they still have a lot to talk out and deal with their relationship. But they're going to go have some fun times in bed first. And then they can talk out the problems in the morning. Once they're a little more level-headed and not heat of the moment kind of thing. Emily is sitting in a cafe. Andy shows up. Emily's blonde. Platinum blonde. I don't think it works for her. I like Emily as a redhead. I also just have I love redheads. I have a thing for redheads, so there's that. I do not like the blonde on her. I don't. She's now with Coach. She's no longer with Dior. I don't know if she got fired or if she quit or what happened there. Benji broke up with her. That might have... I don't think that has anything to do with it, actually. Also, they eat carbs together, and she's just like... And Emily makes note, she's like, carbs have no bearing when you're with friends. When you're sharing them with friends. And I love Emily and Andy as friends. I do. I think they are perfect friends for each other. Because, in this case, no matter what situation, Emily's always going to be the black cat. Andy is definitely the golden retriever of the two in this. I love them as friends. And apparently Emily tried to call her and after she left Runway in the first movie, and she wanted to be friends then. She wanted to be pals. That made me tear up a little bit because I love them as friends. They're so good together. So good as friends. So good. And we get one final scene. Andy's assistant is very proud that she got this nice Gautier dress at a thrift shop because it was misspelled. So she got it for a fabulous deal. And it's a cute dress. We also found out Nigel is the reason Andy came back to Runway. Ah! See, this is why Nigel's amazing. He's the one who actually sent that clip of Andy to Jay to show his father. Nigel loves Andy. He'll never openly admit to it, I don't think. I don't think he ever will. But he loves her. He definitely sees her like the stray cat that he just kind of adopted. I think, and I love that. I love their energy together. They're so good together. It's such a good movie. Like, it's not as good as the first one, but it's a good sequel. And it's a true sequel. It like follows up after the first movie. I love it. I don't remember what I rated. I think it was 3.5 stars. I might have given it 4. I can't remember. I definitely like the first one more, but this one was really good. And I definitely think y'all should go see it. It's so good. It's so fun. I'm also usually not a chick flick person. This one definitely hits up just because it's so. I think that's why I like Top Model. It's just so catty and just like people suck. People didn't suck as much in this movie, but it's still so good. It's still so good. Go see it. Go see it. Go see it. Also, my next video, it's probably going to be a much shorter one. I've been trying to do a full-length video on all of the movies that I had put on my most anticipated list. I've missed 2 so far. And I might go back and do videos for them at some point. I probably won't, though. One of them that I missed was Iron Lung. Great movie. The other that I missed was Hoppers. Also, fabulous movie. Go see Hoppers. The next one on the list for me, though, is Animal Farm. I will go see this movie for you guys. I can't guarantee a true review. I might just sit here and complain for about 10 minutes about it. We'll see. We'll see. But I am going to see that movie for you guys. And then hopefully I'll be able to do a video on Mortal Kombat. I am going on vacation starting on this weekend. So I'll be out of town for a little bit. I won't have my setup with me. But I will be buying a new mic and I won't have my phone. I could probably I just need the space to record at some point, and I can probably do it. We'll see. I might record on vacation. If I do, it'll be for Mortal Kombat 2. I don't think anything comes out the following weekend if anything comes out the following weekend, it'll just be a little delayed because I come back like just a little over a week from Saturday. So we'll see what happens there. But until then, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you, my fabulous friends, in the next video. Bye!